This podcast was made in collaboration with the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism Story Project. In the Philippines, the basic unit of governance is the barangay. Every city is composed of several barangays, and every barangay is made up of smaller communities and neighborhoods. In light of President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs, the barangay has also become the smallest cog in the drug war's machinery. Community leaders or barangay officials now have the power to decide the shape of the war on drugs. Episode 3: Submission. On January 14, the Sunday before the Tondo Fiesta, the police raided a suspected drug den in Chairman Roger's barangay. The operation went smoothly, at least according to the police report that Roger signed. He was not there himself, but Roger trusts the police. The two targeted drug suspects surrendered and no one was killed. On the days when drug suspects were killed and their corpses were carried off in body bags, Roger signed off on the police reports without question. Whatever evidence the police say they found, I'll sign it. They know what they are doing. Chairman Roger, who asked to be identified only by a pseudonym, has always been staunchly against drugs. For many years, he worked as a seaman, spending many lonely months at sea. He was on a ship when he got word that his two brothers were jailed for using and selling drugs. This prompted him to return to the Philippines and later to run for Barangay Kagawad, a post he held for 10 years before running for barangay chair. The Philippines has always had a drug problem, Chairman Roger said. I'm glad something is being done about it. Roger has conceded nearly absolute authority over his barangay to the police when it comes to the drug war and peace and order programs. Before the Duterte presidency, Roger's barangay had a help desk manned by a kagawad who coordinated with the police. Now, the help desk is gone and police freely come and go without any interference from barangay officials. In the past, the police informed the barangay chair in advance of any police operations in the community. These days, Chairman Roger just waits for the police report to arrive. Roger said that his barangay regularly provides the police and the DILG information about drug suspects and also a watch list made up of suspected drug users and dealers in the community. When we spoke to him, he said he had 13 on his watch list. 2 of them had already been killed. He attested to the improvements in his barangay since the drug war. The place isn't as chaotic as it used to be, he said, and teenagers really loiter in the streets at night. People are finally afraid of the police, he added. When asked about the victims killed by vigilantes and police operations, Roger gave pause. The victims are bad people anyway, he said. I too dream of a drug-free Philippines, Roger said. But why does it have to be so bloody? When asked if he has raised his doubts with the police, he shook his head. I don't argue with the police. They have guns. We don't. This is a 4-part podcast on 3 barangay officials in Tondo, Manila, who responded to President Duterte's war on drugs in different ways. In the next episode, adaptation, Barangay Councilor Angela has already lost her husband, the former barangay chairman, to the bloody drug war. These days, she focuses her efforts on preventing the youth of her community from sharing her late husband's fate.